Squad. Pretty.
So we're underneath NATLAN right now? It looks nothing like Paimon was imagining.
That's because in the distant past, NATLAN was home to an incredibly advanced civilization ruled by dragons. Humans only established their own society after the fall of the dragons.
Right.
So these are Saurian ruins?
I don't think she's talking about the Saurians. I think she means like actual dragons.
Wait, you mean like the elemental sovereigns? They had their own advanced civilization?
Yes, a really long time ago. Very few records have survived until now, so no one really knows what the devices here are for. These ruins have been abandoned for a long time, but with the recent increase in Abyss activity, the installations around here have somehow been activated again.
How do we even know how to get to the Night Kingdom? I don't really get that part.
Whoa, the place we need to go seems really high up.
Yup. We're here.
This must be the entrance the Pyro Archon told us about.
Mm-hmm.
The one ripped open by the Abyss.
Right. Okay.
Yes. There's something in the depths of this place that feels familiar, yet also foreign.
We actually have to go in there? Okay, Paimon just needs to psych herself up. Don't push her through before she's ready.
Let's get Kachina back, shall we?
Hey, you don't have to drag Paimon. You're pulling too hard.
Looks like we made it. This is the Night Kingdom. It looks so different from what I imagined in the stories.
There's abyssal energy everywhere.
That overflow of energy is probably what trapped Kachina here in the first place.
From this point forward, everything we know about the real world no longer applies. Anything can happen here.
Does your visions work here?
Paimon's more worried about how we're gonna make it out. We obviously can't go back the way we came.
Do you see that patch of light on the ground? It's shining down from that fissure in the sky.
Oh yeah, right in front of us. So that's coming from up there? Oh, it's so high up. Did we really fall that far down?
I guess.
Just like I said, our real-world knowledge doesn't apply here. We fell all this way, yet came out completely unscathed. If this was the real world, we'd have to climb our way back up to the entrance. But here, all we have to do is stand underneath the light and offer a prayer.
Okay.
How are we supposed to find Kachina in these conditions?
Yell for her?
Yeah, these floating black things don't look super friendly either.
Nope.
Those are all manifestations of abyssal power. Be careful.
Who's that?
Ghost! A talking ghost!
Shh. Calm down. It's just a soul that's lost, probably.
Calm down. I'm here to help. You're the ones who helped Vichama, right?
Wait, does that mean you're...
Yes, I'm Vichama's friend, Malko.
Malko!
I was completely lost to this realm until I sensed a mysterious power calling out to me. It's like it was seeking me out, attempting to reassemble the pieces of who I used to be. Of course, it could only do so much. I'm sorry I can only appear before you in this imperfect form.
No, we should be the ones apologizing. If the Spirit Speaker Stone hadn't become corrupted by the Abyss, we could have done much more, but we had to destroy it. Otherwise, Vichama and his tribe would have been in danger.
Of course. Thank you for protecting him. I never imagined that, even after all these years, he'd still take such a risk for me.
Of course he would.
You're looking for a young girl from the Children of Echoes, right? She's being chased by an embodiment of abyssal power.
Oh no.
I'd like to help her while I'm still in this form, so follow me. Be careful. This place has been severely corroded by the Abyss.
I can tell, yes.
Paimon didn't realize it had gotten this bad.
It's like a seething volcano ready to engulf our world at any moment.
This is so bad. Aren't those the same type of stones that were...
Stick close to me. My power will be able to ward off attacks for the time being.
Thank you. I was gonna say... Oh, this is scary. Isn't this the same type of rock that's in the chasm? What's that? Why am I alone? Why am I alone?
Did you hear that?
Oh,
What? Never mind. It was probably just my imagination.
Don't scare
I heard it too. It was a voice from the abyss.
What did it say?
Doesn't matter. It certainly doesn't harbor good intentions.
Lovely. Shut up.
Paimon just heard it too!
It's fine, Paimon. Stay
Let's
close.
keep going. Paimon wants to get out of this place!
I believe Kachina's been here for like a while. Kachina! Speaking of, I should have brought Barbara with me. She could have healed me.
We're here, Kachina!
Remember in the chasm when it was like an interlude Archon quest, but like a limited time one, I'm pretty sure, where Xiao like had to get us out of the chasm. There was like dark looking souls and it kind of looked like this. It kind of looks like the same as this, if I remember.
Oh, honey, you made it! Looks like our reunion will have to wait until we take care of these monsters. Good idea. Let's go!
I can't see.
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
Did I do it? Sheesh!
You're here. You're finally here. Thank you so much.
It's okay.
That monster can appear from anywhere. It almost caught me a bunch of times. The YF's power helped keep me hidden, so I just tried to stay out of sight until you got here. Had girl. You did so well. And most importantly, you weren't hurt. Should we start heading back then?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have a request. Will you come visit the YF with me?
Oh.
I can't exactly put it into words, but something's wrong with the Ode of Resurrection.
We knew about that.
And I know it has something to do with the contamination from the Abyss.
That was the Pyro Archon's theory as well. Everything we've seen here certainly seems to back it up.
In the Night Kingdom, there are 6 main totem poles representing the Wyab of each tribe.
Oh.
You can think of them like the body of each Wyab. Additional totem poles, like the ones around here, serve as proxies to which the Wyab can extend their consciousness. There are countless proxies scattered around the Night Kingdom. Through them, the Wyab can extend their consciousness over the entire realm and track down souls no matter where they roam. But if a proxy were to become severely contaminated, then a soul could become lost within the Night Kingdom.
Judging by the current situation, I don't think we're dealing with just one contaminated proxy. Even if we could drive back the abyssal power from one of them, that probably wouldn't even put a dent in the problem.
Still, we can't just leave the YF to suffer. It's protected me this whole time.
Saving one is better than saving none at all.
I agree. We might even manage to draw out the monster that's been hunting Kachina. Getting rid of the monster might slow down the deterioration of the Night Kingdom.
I'll lead the way. Besides, I can still fight, so please, help me out a little longer.
Okay.
Listen to me, Kachina. We'll come with you, but that's because we want to help the YF, not because we have something to prove. You don't have anything to prove either. It's okay if you reach your limit. We'll be there for you.
All right, the sooner we get this done, the better.
I'll stay here and try to stall the Abyss monster.
Thank you, Mako.
All by yourself? That's too dangerous.
It's all right. I may not be as strong as that monster, but I'm definitely more familiar with the area. Besides, I don't have much time left. If you're anything like my friend, I'm sure you're not particularly fond of goodbyes. So go. Achieve your goal, and return to the world where you belong.
Thanks, Mako.
Thank you for everything.
You're a true hero.
Thank you. No one fights alone.
No one fights alone.
YF, I'm back. My friends and I are here to heal you. YF, can you hear me? YF? So we were right. The contamination is already too severe. It's preventing the YF from answering our calls. All right, get ready, everyone. Time to purge the abyssal energy from this place.
I'll help too.
Careful. We've got company.
Oh, lovely.
Already?
Another Abyss Herald.
You really think that puny soul could slow me down? Courage in the face of futility is pure folly. He tried to get in my way, so I disposed of him.
Oh.
You killed Malcolm?
Malcolm had already been killed ages ago, to be fair.
He would have dispersed with or without me. Rather than worrying about him, I would urge you to focus on yourself. You may have defeated others of my kind in the past, but underestimate me now, and it will be to your peril.
Feel that? I'm right here next to you.
Thanks, Moalani. You're right. I have nothing to fear, because I'm not alone anymore.
Oh.
You're right. Maybe comforting ideals don't have any power, but you also couldn't be more wrong. You've never had to work for your own strength, so you will never understand the true source of our power.
What?
The courage we have to stand before you and not back down? It comes. The power lies not in the ideal itself, but in our commitment to upholding that ideal, and in our decision to stand together and fight!
Come at me, bro.
Well said! Let's go, Kachina. It shouldn't take more than 2 of us to handle an enemy like this.
Sorry in advance, but you deserve what's coming to you!
There aren't many in NATLAN who can beat us when we're together. It's time he got a taste of that kind of power.
I'm actually obliterating this piece of shit. Can I just say?
Check this out! That's the lot!
Like, I was so weak!
We won! We actually won!
With ease, too.
Huh? What's happening?
What's that?
My ancient name is glowing? But I thought I didn't bring it with me.
Oh?
It's probably a projection from the real world. But that doesn't explain why it's glowing all of a sudden.
Wait, does that mean you're...
You're what?
That was a bold move, diving headfirst into the fire to save your friend, especially in a place so overrun with abyssal corruption. Still, seeing you pull it off was really something. Everything you said was exactly right. As isolated individuals, we stand no chance against the power of the Abyss. It took years' worth of scars and lots of unnecessary suffering for me to understand that for myself. The Pyro Archon's plan will unite us as one. Everyone has a part to play. Only then will we have the power to defeat the strongest of foes.
Who are you?
Tupac, a warrior from the people of the Springs. I fought against the Abyss during the invasion 500 years ago.
I've heard that name before. You were the giant who saved all of NATLAN.
Since you were able to awaken my words from your ancient name, that means you have fully embodied the aspirations of the Wyub.
Huh?
Under the name Umoja, you shall unite the tribes and save NATLAN from its impending doom.
Me?
Moalani. Main character moment much.
As long as blood still runs through your veins, even the tiniest spark of steel against stone can ignite a flame. Its blaze will become one with our vision for NATLAN. Even amid everlasting darkness, our bonds remain eternal.
Give him a fist bump. Boom. That was sick.
What's wrong, Moalani?
Ah, so many memories. My brain was just flooded with everything he once knew.
What?
So that's what happened.
What do you mean? Did you just figure something out?
500 years ago, they foresaw the very crisis we're facing now. Efforts to save NATLAN started all the way back then.
We can go over the details once we get back. We shouldn't linger here longer than we have to.
Does that mean you already know about this whole thing?
I know bits and pieces, but I had no idea Mualani was also part of the plan.
This sounds like something that's going to need a lot of explaining.
I am
Let's
very
focus
confused,
on
yes.
saving the Wyub first.
Feel my power!
Okay, that should be enough. Wyub, Can you hear me?
I hear your voice, Kachina. My dear child.
Great. Well then, I'm afraid it's time to say goodbye. I just wanted to make sure you were okay before we leave, but we can't afford to stay here any longer.
Whoa! What's going on? An earthquake?
We're out of time.
It's the power of the abyss. Quick, we need to run!
Oh. What the? There's a Sealy.
The Sealy opened the way for us!
Yes, let me run, please. Ah! Oh. Oh no. I'm stuck.
The opening in the sky! It's closing!
We need to hurry, or we'll be stuck here!
We don't have infinite stamina.
Watch out for the falling rocks!
Quick, through the middle!
Oh gosh. Come on. Stay close. Look at us working together. Yay! Please? No shot, we're stuck here. Now what? Is the power Archon gonna save us? Or what's happening? Archon! I thought
You've
she
done
was
well.
before.
Now come home.
What the? Excuse me. I thought she lost her power. What's that all about? Huh? Archon?
We're back!
The Pyro Archon saved us.
But how?
But she's not here.
Wait. Yeah, and how did she regain her strength?
Yeah, didn't she say she used it all up?
She's still in the speaker's chamber. What we saw in the Night Kingdom was just her consciousness.
Oh.
So you're saying her consciousness did all that?
Every great display of power comes at a price.
Oh. Calm down.
You must feel terrible, Kachina. Just hold on. We'll get you to a doctor soon. Let's get back to the stadium.
There's a lot less stuff here than before.
Yeah, what?
It's good to see you all here in one piece. I know you must have a lot of questions, but
Yes.
let Koichi check you over first. It's best not to let any lingering effects of the abyss go untreated.
Despite the short stint in the Night Kingdom, Mualani and the others all have some degree of abyssal contamination. But, thanks to Chuyu's extensive experience treating abyssal contamination, the harmful effects will not be permanent. Good. The treatment also relieves Kachina's symptoms.
Alright, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I'll perform another checkup in a couple of days. I have to say though, I've never seen anyone react to the abyss like you, Traveler. It's like you're completely immune to its power.
It do be like that.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
Of course. I still have patients to see, so I'll head out.
Thank you, Koichi.
Alright, alright. We might not see eye to eye, but we both had good intentions.
There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. The devastation in the Night Kingdom. I'll get straight to the point. NATLAN is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than a year before total devastation.
Oh, lovely.
Huh? No. That can't be true, can it?
Less than a year?
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation. Our looming destruction is not a recent development, but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated 500 years ago.
Mulan told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the Abyss. Unlike the other nations, NATLAN never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization and countless lives. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to NATLAN remains as real as ever.
I'd never have guessed.
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as NATLAN's ley lines.
Oh.
Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory, nor did they hold hope for the future. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wayab nearly severed. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss in the future. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save NATLAN.
That's crazy. Archons really be doing that, huh? Like, Greater Lord Rugudavata, she was like, let me use this plan, and then now we had Farina, we had Focalor.
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of new memories. Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important role in it. But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it was you.
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense. The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human. It's impossible for a human to live that long.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time. Or rather, the natural limitations of our lifespan. A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse. But, as we all know, NATLAN doesn't have gods like that. We can only rely on our own methods. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
That was all part of the plan?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together as one. If the NATLAN of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes.
That's why she was talking about her sister in the past tense.
The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of each tribe's Wayab. Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old 500 years ago.
So that means I'm one of the Chosen?
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that name.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going to pick from each tribe?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along the way. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago, but the intel regarding the plan wasn't passed on to them. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the Sacred Flame and the Wyab has been blocked.
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. The Abyss may not possess intelligence, but its methods certainly aren't easy to counter. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient name-bearer must establish a greater connection to their name. So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shilonin of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure,
I had a feeling
you
Kinich
too
was one of
earned
them
the
too.
acknowledgement of your Wyab Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
At least 2 people left.
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been gathered. That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency of the situation.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this? Wouldn't that make everything go a lot faster?
I don't think it works like that.
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will, rather than a sense of obligation.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final 2 heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development.
But what if they don't make it in time?
I can only trust in the judgment of the Wyab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this far. NATLAN's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all.
Does that mean you...
You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
Huh? Oh, right! All of the stuff you stored here before, where did it all go?
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make it back from the Night Kingdom. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose. Fuel.
Fuel? So back then, that's why you...
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait they all share. Every item belonged to a hero of NATLAN. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle.
I see.
On their own, each item's power is limited, but together, their combined effect can prove quite useful in a dire situation. By burning those items, I was able to activate the contending fire stored within them to open the boundary between the 2 worlds. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant, as you can see.
But weren't they all precious treasures? What about their stories?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been forever lost to the Abyss. And then, it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was met with disaster. Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to contribute to NATLAN's survival. If they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of NATLAN, they would not mourn their loss.
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form. In that sense, we didn't lose anything at all. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the items once stored here.
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime.
Okay.
Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Warden Wars. And we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and for all, Kachina.
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing, having a victory feast doesn't feel right.
It's good to keep morale up.
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. Worrying about it will only affect your judgment. All right, you should head out. I'll join you in a bit.
Of course Kanisha's one of them. I knew it. Well, I didn't know it all the time, but I had a feeling. What's happening? Her consciousness is somewhere. Wow! Where is this?
I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. I can see it. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children, just like those warriors did for me. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Where are we? I'm confused. I don't know what's going on.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the victory we are owed. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For NATLAN.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna die?
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision is hers to make, and she deserves our support. We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for NATLAN's future.
Oh, seriously though, Dad should be here. Where is he?
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Don't take it to heart, my dear. That's just who he is. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
That was really sad.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For NATLAN!
No one fights alone.
We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That is NATLAN's fire. The lifeblood of our nation.
I don't get it. Okay. Party time, I guess. I can't believe all the Pyro Archons are just humans. That's crazy. Even she is. Right, look at him go. Sheesh!
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Woohoo! Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad I finally made it.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a great future ahead of you. You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your team. I'll be dealing with you when we get back.
I had no choice. My friend invited me. I couldn't just say no.
Actually, yes. You know how? No.
So, what about you guys? Did you make it far?
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late to the stadium on the day. We got disqualified.
That's what you get, honestly. Never do that to her again.
Serves you all right. No sympathy from me.
Me neither, Pakal.
My apologies. I knew more than I let on.
That's okay.
But in any case, we're now on the same page. I wonder how long before the two final heroes appear.
Me too.
From the Flower Feather Clan and the Masters of the Night Wind.
Kachina looks really happy. And now I'm being the moody one. Enough doom and gloom. Time to shake it off.
Yes. Play Taylor Swift. Shake it off. Shake it off.
Alright, Kachina. Let's party!
I'm a little embarrassed.
Don't be. Come on, you're the star of the show today.
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away.
Why didn't you get the heroes of the past to join you in this age?
Because they had their own lives to live. The thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time, for in 500 years NATLAN will be destroyed, it seemed too cruel. You could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. But life is short, and beyond a point, it just doesn't seem real. Imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. It would sound quite ridiculous.
True.
I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. The plan could still work without them. Or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who came up with the plan, I felt duty-bound to see it through to the end. This is a war. And there can be no war without loss. I am already far more fortunate than those who lost their lives to the Abyss. The people of NATLAN look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear. I must see our fate through to the very end, no matter what I may find there.
That's actually what I wanted to ask. If you're already aware of fate...
Yeah, doesn't that mean the way everything ends has already been written, including your plan?
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many forms. The past, present, and future coexist, and all are equally important. Even if the future ends in destruction, there's still no reason to give up on the here and now. And it's precisely because we humans cannot know our fate that we will never give up on our struggle. This is a pivotal moment. We are still 2 heroes short. Well, 3 to be precise. There's one further hero who I'm hoping to get on my side. Whatever it takes.
Surely you don't mean me.
Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. It would easily make you an all-important figure in the upcoming battle. If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will also forge a brand new ancient name for you.
What?
Ancient names can be forged?
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, then the number of them in circulation would have long dwindled to 0. Possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in NATLAN are recorded in full. Your stories would be remembered by our people for all the years to come.
Do I care about that?
The Ode of Resurrection
Like,
may
as in
have
Lumine?
temporarily lost its power, but still. Take this as my personal guarantee that I shall never let you fall. Just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at all costs. This nation always honors its heroes.
You don't have to promise me anything. I just want to help out the people.
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation here.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. She's the one who will forge the name. We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but I trust she'll find a way.
I don't mean to be trouble, though. That's it. About the absence of people from NATLAN in other nations.
That also comes down to the long-standing effects of the Abyss. Our people's survival is inextricably tied to the Wyab, but their power has its limits. They cannot offer our people the same degree of protection outside our borders. In fact, people who do decide to leave often suffer from memory loss and emotional issues. Everyone in NATLAN understands this. That's why our people never leave without a good cause. Even if someone is left with no choice, the chief of their tribe must seek approval with the Wyab to grant them leave. And the Wyab have always been very strict about granting that approval, since extending protection beyond our borders means consuming power reserved for our fight against the Abyss. Still, there's no need to worry. The Wyab extend their protection to all within NATLAN, including visitors from afar.
How nice of them.
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power.
Rezanov.
Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to seize the Gnosis.
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness, and I don't intend to start now.
Are you too proud to, like... Why?
As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
What trick?
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. She could have dispelled it. She simply chose not to. You don't have much time, and you're injured on top of that. What do you plan to do next?
Who's that?
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
What was he talking to? So, Kanich, why are you taller than Xiao, huh? It's because you have these dang boots on.